£21 for 21 days. And that works very well too. Get lots of sign-ups, but you can only really upgrade those people to the boot camp. They're not going to go from £21 to £200 memberships.
Okay, Sam, thank you for joining me. Sam from SOS in Cardiff. How are you?
All good, thanks, mate. Yeah,
fantastic.
Really good.
Sam, I really appreciate you joining me today and helping out personal trainers. So tell me exactly about your business right now and where you are today as well.
Okay, so I've got a facility here in Cardiff called SOS Athletic Excellence. We were voted the best independent gym in the country in the 2016 UK Fitness Awards. I was voted the best personal trainer in Wales as well. But that's probably more a reflection on the business rather than me as a trainer. So we've got a membership, a gym here now in Cardiff. There's a coaching facility that now specialises in sort of small group training, body transformation training, and our lower end program is boot camps. But everything is coach based, so it's not a membership gym where people come and just pay. Everyone that comes to the facility has coaching. We currently have around 225 to 250 members, and most of them are on our either body transformation or small group training program. And we have there's 3 directors that run the company. I own the majority of shares within the company. We've got 2 other directors as well, which help me with the business. And then we've got other staff. Then is like 4 full-time staff and a couple of part-time. So yeah, things are going well. We're just on the outskirts of the city, which is nice because we fall in a nice catchment area between obviously Cardiff and Newport. So we're on that M4 corridor, so we can attract clients from both cities, which is good. And because we're on the outskirts of the city, parking and things like that is free compared to city centre gyms where you often got to pay a lot of money for parking. So we got some good positives with us, and business is going pretty well at the moment. Yeah.
Hey, fantastic. So with regards to studio, just sort of give me sort of like a visual of your studio. Talk me through how it's all set up and how the rooms are in the studio as well.
Cool. So like if you walk in our gym at 6 a.m, it's mental. We've got the boot camp running on one side of the gym. We've had 3 refurbs in 4 years. When we first had the gym, it was just the one side. Now that side of the gym is where the small group training runs. Well, since we had that, we've also knocked in the next door. So we've taken over the unit next door from the landlord. That's where our boot camps tend to run now and more of our metabolic work. So in that area of the gym, we've got the AstroTurf, the Prowlers, the assault bikes, the ski ergs, the rowing machines. There is 4 squat racks in there. But all the kettlebells, the power clubs, TRXs, all the freestyle kit is in there. So that's what we predominantly use for our boot camp training. And on the other side of the gym then, we've got a fully kitted out Watson gym. Watson dumbbells from 3 kilos to 35 kilos in 1 kilo jumps, or 0.5 jumps from 1 to 20. Then it goes up in 1 kilos. So we got duplicate dumbbells as well, 7.5s, 10s, 12.5s. Those kind of weights have got doubles because we do a lot of group training and we were having a shortage of dumbbells with those types of things. So we've learned along the way that when you open a gym and 70% of your members are female, you don't need 40k dumbbells, but you need like 4 or 5 lots of 10s. So we've got a fully kitted Watson gym. There's 5 power racks in the main gym. Obviously all the Watson benches, pendulum squat, leg press, hack squat. We got 3 lying leg curls from Watson, 2 seated row lat pull down combos. So we got a lot of duplicates, 3 45-degree back, 2 45-degree back extensions, 2 horizontals. So because we're doing group training, we've got a lot of duplicate kit. So one of the mistakes we did definitely make when we ordered all the kit is I was like, yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, I want one of those. We didn't really market, the facility initially to the program. So we kind of had to do things ass backwards really, but it's worked out really well long term. And I've got lots of nice toys to play with when I train, even if we don't always use them for the small group training. So that's the one side of the gym. So if you walk in at 6 a.m, you'll see a group of 4 to 6 on a semi-private session. It's not uncommon for us to need 2 coaches because we can have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the small group. And we sell the package as 6 people per group. So 6 people per coach. Body transformation program then has a maximum of 16. So tonight's session has got 16 booked in for the first time in a long time, which is great. So that was running this morning, 6 a.m. So we had 3 sessions running this morning, semi-private 6 a.m, body transformation 6 a.m, boot camp 6 a.m, and I've got PTs in the gym running 1-to-1. So we've got a mezzanine floor now where we've got a one-to-one zone. So, at 6 a.m. the gym's busy. So we got an overflow area with more kit, which is just there for the PTs, which is great. So the gym's huge in terms of, you think of like small, independent gym studios. Our gym is big. We've got consultation rooms and massage rooms and stuff like that as well. So we've really had to grow into it, which has been a challenge in itself, because there were times we thought, shit, like, do we really need all this space? Should we let go of the other unit? Have we tried to grow too quick? But yeah, business is going well now. Parents have just gone back to school. Kids have gone back to school. So all the parents are coming back in. We've done 4 or 5 new members yesterday and today. We did 5 or 6 new members last week. And that's more members than we've done in the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, in the last sort of 9 or 10 days, which is crazy. So, it goes back to knowing your peaks and troughs and knowing, your target market, I guess.
So that's an amazing gym. So how long have you built that up over? How long have you been with SOS?
Like, I've been in the industry now for, it's probably 10, 11 years. As a PT, I started off when I was like 20, 21. My last year of uni, I did the course, and I'm 32 now. So it's been about 11 years really since I started, took my first course. Makes me feel old, mate.
Where did you first start working when you left uni?
So basically, I handed in my dissertation, and it was pretty bad. I studied like sports psychology. So my dissertation was in like the psychology of team sports, looking at things like cohesion and things like that. So it wasn't really anything to do with personal training, but I always enjoyed, the gym. I was playing football at a high level. I was naturally like a skinny guy. So I got into the gym that way. And when my mate who I live with said, look, he's going to book a PT course, I just got my credit card out and just whacked it on there, and went from there really. We did a 6-week course in Bristol. And it was funny, like, I went back to pre-season training with Newport County at the time, who I was playing for. And he was a guy on trial there from, he used to play for Sheffield United as a kid, and he was working in Fitness First. So he said to me, look, why didn't you come on down? We're looking for personal trainers. And, I took the job. It was a self-employed job, but they had something called the £500 scheme, where you used to get paid £500 a month for the first 3 months, which was nice. And I don't know why gyms don't do this these days, but it was 500 quid a month, which isn't a lot of money. And I had like a sliding scale of hours. So the first sort of month, I think it was like 25 hours a week. Then it went down to like 20 hours. Then it was like 15. But I was getting 500 quid a month. So it was kind of like taking inductions, doing the sessions that they wanted to do. And it was great, because I was opening and closing the gym at times. Like, I was getting to know the members. I wasn't like that PT walking the gym floor looking for business. I was actually working. But it was done in a way which psychologically, I think, helped trainers back then. And they were getting a great deal, because my hourly rate was probably about £2.20 an hour. But most PTs don't get paid a penny. So I did that, and it was one other trainer there, and he was quite busy, but his training was very boring. Quite methodical. He talked a lot during sessions. So I went in with a bit of a different approach. I brought gymnastic rings because they were cheap, and I knew that CrossFit had just kind of like started, and I was just sort of looking at the CrossFit workouts and the gymnastic rings, the kettlebells. So I bought a few kettlebells. This was 12 years ago. No one had seen a kettlebell before, especially in Newport. They thought it was a flying bomb. So so I was doing that, and everyone was like, fucking hell, what is it like? Who's this guy like? What is he doing? And it wasn't an area really where personal training was. It wasn't a very wealthy area at all. So I was literally thought, how can I maximize this? And I was selling half-hour sessions, but like, I got so busy that I was doing like 16 sessions a day. Yeah, like half-an-hour sessions. And I used to just call them chaos sessions, because the clients would warm up on their own. They cool down on their own. I'd give them their warm-up routine and their cool-down routine. Give them like some steady-state intervals or whatever to do at the end. But for 30 minutes, I just like give them like a really innovative, metabolic workout really. And they were, people were buying blocks of 10 for 200 quid, and this was 12 years ago in a city that, people were struggling, So it worked really well. And then, I just built from there. Then I built into like 45-minute sessions and hour sessions. And in the end, they just gave me the manager's job because I was so busy,
Yeah.
So so I became manager then for literally, how long? It was like a year and a half, 2 years. I grew the PT team from literally 1 to 8, and that'd never been seen before in Newport. So we had 8 trainers, you know, doing really well, all paying their rent, which was good. Newport closed down because it wasn't making money. There was issues going on behind the scenes. The gym needed a big refurb. The windows kept getting smashed on a weekend, and the company was just sick of paying for new windows. It happened like 5 weeks out of 6, with all the windows in the front of the gym would get smashed. Like, just rough area. People thought it was funny, and replacing the windows was like 6 or 7 grand a time. So the gym closed down, but I did such a good job. They transferred me to Cardiff Fitness First as manager. So I was 20, 21, 22, you know, new in the industry really. And I was managing in a team of, you know, 14 trainers that were much more experienced than me. But I managed to grow the team to 22, which is the most PTs they've ever had in a facility in Wales at the time, or anywhere in the Southwest. The only gyms with more was like London. And yeah, I did really well there. But, you know, I was caring about PT's businesses more than they cared about their own, really. I was helping them with things, and, you know, gym floor standards weren't great because I had such a big team. And Fitness First kept like changing the goalposts, right? You know, we'd bonus you on this. Then the next year I needed like 3 more PTs for the same bonus, you know? So I was getting a bit frustrated with things. So I just thought, fuck that. I'm gonna start on my own. So I started doing just boot camps. So I was only allowed to do a certain amount of personal training because I was full-time manager. So I thought, right, I'll do 10 hours a week and I'll start boot camps. So I rented a studio off Fitness First. I was the fitness manager, so I could give myself a really good deal. So, you know, so I was in charge as a studio coordinator. So I made her give me like a good deal on that because I was like superior. So I rented the studio for like 10, 15 pound an hour at like off-peak times, so no one else could use it. And then I grew the boot camps within the health club. I think we had like 60 members at one point, and they were all paying like £50 a month. So that was pretty good. I was one of the first trainers to go live on Groupon. You know, we sort of got members in. And I remember like one day we had like literally, it was a line of like 50 people outside the door for my kettlebell boot camp.
So were they allowed to bring in?
It was mental, yeah. So, you know, we grew it really big, and it was more people coming to my paid class than the free classes that Fitness First offered. So which was great, you know. So I was earning a lot of money. You know, even though I had a full-time job with Fitness First, I was quite clever, and I worked around the goalposts, you know, moved around sort of what they said I could and couldn't do. And I set up that. Then I met Bex, who I own the gym with now. We you know, she joined my boot camp. So she was like an exercise to music background. So she used to help me with them. She started doing all the admin and all that kind of stuff. And we just grew it and grew it and grew it. And it got to the point where we'd outgrown the facility really. You know, we were doing 3 boot camps a day. They were all pretty busy, pretty full. You know, so it got to the point where I just went back then to being a personal trainer. I didn't need my salary from Fitness First.
And what was Fitness First? Were they letting you bring in non-members, were they? Or were you having to...
Well, yeah, because I was renting the studio. Yeah, I was renting the studio. So, like, if a yoga person rents a studio, do you know what I mean? She can bring people in. So I was renting the studio. I could bring people in, you know? So, yeah, it was all done. And I had it all written out properly. It was signed by the GM. So he was happy with it. But he had his studio budgets to hit as well. He was bonused on his P&L. Like, you know, he wanted to bring money in. And I was, if you think about it, I was paying $450 a month to the gym for my rent in the end when I finished as a PT. But I was paying another $450 to rent the studio. So my rent was like £900 a month. Plus I was going out with Bex, who was also paying $450. So between us, we were giving Fitness First like, you know, £1,400 a month, which is, you know, 15, 16 grand a year. Plus they knew how busy I was as a trainer and how popular I was. Like and a lot of those members had memberships too. And I think they knew in the end that, like, you know, look after Sam because he does a lot on the gym floor. You know, he's a positive influence, you know. And yeah, you know, that's how it worked. But it got to the point when Fitness First sold up to Lifestyle Fitness, where they wanted to move the goalposts a little bit, where I just said, oh, look, I'm going to open my own gym. And they were like, yeah, go on then. So I handed in my notice. And the funniest thing was 8 trainers left with me.
You took 8?
I took 8 or 9 trainers with me, yeah. So yeah, it was me, Bex, Tom, Sabrina, who else came? Alan. You know, a lot of the guys that are still with me now left to come, you know, which was great. Elvis come. Yeah, literally 7 or 8 trainers walked out with me, which was great.
where you are now? Is this the original facility?
Yeah, so they're in the same facility now. So the model that's where we are now. The model we had when we opened was all the PTs paid rent, and that was great. We covered our overheads. We brought the boot camps over. We wasn't doing any small group training, no body transformation training. It was just the boot camps and one-to-one, which worked for a while. But like literally, I can remember saying to Bex, like the gym was small, and we were doing our boot camp, like 30 people. We had other trainers in, and it was like peak time. They were doing group training because it was the thing to do. And I remember putting cones down on our carpet to say, right, this is your space, this is your space, this is your space. And literally, we are breaking every single health and safety rule that's ever been invented here. Like there's 80 people in such a small gym, this can't happen, So, we had to speak to the trainers then about group training. Obviously, we could do it because it was my gym, but if other trainers needed to do it, they needed to pay more rent because it was like a space issue. Alan paid more rent. He still pays the same rent now. He does his groups, very busy. And a few trainers didn't want to do that, which was fine, which meant they could only do one-to-one, which obviously saved on space. So we found ways around it, But again, we were naive enough to start and jump in, and then we sort of sort out the problems as we get along. That's something I do a lot.
Sometimes that's the best way.
Yeah, I think so. Like if you think about every stumbling block that you're going to encounter when you try and improve, you'll never start. So be naive enough to start and brave enough to see it through and finish. I think that's the most important thing. So it worked really well. Yeah.
When you opened up your studio, so one of the things I was going to ask you was how you stood out in the Fitness First, but you started doing half-an-hour sessions. But if we move forward, when you opened up your studio, what was your biggest sort of stumbling block to doing this? I know you say you took a lot of trainers with you as well, but
yeah,
what's going through your head in terms of generating new business? Because there's a massive commitment to the overheads.
Yeah, well, the good thing was because the 7 or 8 trainers follow me, we charged them similar to Fitness First. They were happy with that because it was a good gym in terms of we had the AstroTurf, we had the Prowlers. It was like a freestyle gym. They could bring non-members in as well. And my gym is literally it's about a mile away from the old Fitness First. So people knew where we were. They come along and give it a try. And because it was different and it was raw, think of a CrossFit gym a CrossFit style gym, but with maybe an AstroTurf, Prowlers, some funky kit like ski ergs, stuff like that. It was CrossFit with a bit more kit. It was different. People were into it, So, we managed to sort of cover the overheads from day one, really, which was brilliant because we already had our boot campers. They were really happy to come across because the timetable now was suited on us. We didn't have to, work around Fitness First classes. So they were happy, and we didn't have to, and the PTs didn't have to pay for non-members to come in. So, they could offer free sessions and not have to pay Fitness First a $5, just to bring someone in for a trial workout and things. So yeah, I think the biggest thing that you need to do is make sure you're breaking even. And luckily for me, I had savings at the time. I was involved with a multi-level marketing company that was paying me a lot of money at the time, which was great. So I had these income streams coming through. So I always knew that personal training and the gym was what I wanted to grow. But in order to do that, I needed to have the security of obviously, financial security of other money coming in. So I managed to do that really well and have money saved for that. So, I could actually work on the business then.
So where you are now, you've got your group, your body transformation, your boot camps, and your groups and your PT. Do you promote those all as individual programs, or do you have a funnel to bring people into your business?
So we pay someone to run our ads. I'm a personal trainer, and it fries my brain why PTs try and be marketing experts. If you're a really good coach, just concentrate on being a good coach, concentrate on being the best coach. Now, if your results are good enough, then you shouldn't have to worry too much, in my opinion, about marketing. If people come in and see you and you do a good job, then they should stay, right? We get a lot of referrals as a company, and I think that's because, we do put the groundwork in and make sure we get results. But we actually, I can run Facebook ads okay, but I'm not an expert, and Facebook can change the algorithm all the time. They change this, they change that. I can't keep up to date with that. So we've actually budgeted now to work with a marketing company. We use the same company that works with Grenade Jamie Alden. So they run our ads for us. They're superb. Couldn't recommend them enough. So, they change the ads on a daily, 2-day basis. I just let them crack on. We've got a Facebook budget of about 20 quid a day. which we dictate to ads, and then we pay them their fee. So I know the marketing for me is going to cost about 1,600 quid a month. All right. So like if I was to employ someone full time for marketing, it'd probably cost more than that. So I just think, look, 400 quid a week or 350 a week on a marketing guy is worth it, because the amount of time I've wasted doing it, I wasted a full day doing an ad, gets refused by Facebook. Oh shit, it's causing me stress. The next day then my ad isn't out because I got clients in, and then I've got to try and go back on, and then it gets refused again. And I'm like, look, I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, like, even though I kind of know a few things, because things change so often, I'd rather just outsource it. I've got more time, I've got less stress, and the person I'm paying is going to do a better job than me. So that's the way I look at that. And they bring in leads, anything from 20 to 40 leads a week.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know, we've had two consults today. One of them signed up, 164 quid a month, 12-month contract. I mean, so if you work that out, I don't know what that is. I'm not very good at maths. 164 times 12. You know, that's worth 1,968 quid this morning. That one sale. I've had to spend half an hour with her. Do you know what I mean? We had another lady that she's probably going to sign up. She wanted to go home and speak to her husband. No pressure. Let us know. Yesterday, did a consultation. The guy sent me his bank details today. He signed up for 3 months at 207 a month. So like the leads are coming in. They're good quality leads. They're qualified. It's all done. I don't even ring the leads. I don't even speak to them. We've got a girl that we train in the gym, Kiara. I train her 3 times a week, and she does all the leads for me. So she does all the calls, books them in. She's a doctor, but she's off for the minute with like, you know, she's taking a bit of time off, but she wants to keep busy. She enjoys training. You know, she's on a 600 quid a month program in the gym. We train her for free. She does all the leads for me. I've shown her what to do. So I just come in. She confirms all my appointments. So it's great. You know, so there's ways you can do it. You can either leverage your time or you can pay. But I think as a business owner, you've got to actually work on the business. That's the most important thing, if you can, as much as you can anyway.
And with your outsourcing now, because that's a big thing, because I know a lot of trainers, they try and outsource, you know, straight away without actually understanding what it is they're doing and what it is they're selling.
Yeah.
When you first started outsourcing all your ads and stuff, did you find it quite simple to find the right company, or did you go from company to company?
Yeah, like I wanted to work with this company for like 3 years. And I was I rang the guy and I was like, right, come on, let's go to work. He's like, I can't work with you. I was like, why not? He's like, well, I'm working for your mate down the road. Like he's got a gym like 3 miles from you. I was like, I know, that's why I want you. His ads are really good. You know, I've heard good things about you. He's like, look, we can't work with you because we're working with them. I was like, right, okay. And I used to just text him like every 3-4 months, like, can we work with you? And one day I texted him and he was like, yeah, we can work together because, you know, the guy's going with someone else. I was like, great, you know, let's do it. So, you know, I tried people in the past and they were okay. They were good, but like I'm saying I'm not very good at Facebook ads. I'll watch YouTube videos. I'll try and be good. Like I want to be good enough to at least test the people that are doing them. You know, I want to have conversations with them and say, look, are we doing this? You know, who are we targeting? You know, why are we doing that? You know, and I want to know that they know what they're doing. So I know enough to know if someone's doing a good job or not. And if the leads are coming in and they're qualified leads, you know the company's doing a good job. And that wasn't really happening with the other companies we had. And the ideas that I was giving him, he's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. We'll do that. Whereas the new company, like, yeah, that's a good idea, but you've got to be careful with that because of this, this, and this. They're a step ahead of me. You know, they know their shit. You know, they're the experts. So yeah, I think it's like hiring a personal trainer. Do you want to pay £20 an hour and not get results? Or do you want to pay £40 an hour and get results? So if you're a PT and you're looking at doing it yourself, then I think it's just worth saving and getting someone you know that's reputable, and make that plunge, you know, dive in with it rather than just sort of experiment a little bit. We decided this year that we're going to run ads every day for 12 months. We're not going to knock them off. Even when things are not going well, we're going to keep them on. Just so we can see trends. And then next year then, I'll be honest with you, we'll probably do the same thing. Leave them on for a year. Even though we know we'll lose money in June, July, and August, we lose the money. And then we look at trends. And then in the year after then, we can say, right, for the last 2 years in June, July, August, we've made no sales, even though we've run these ads. We either need to change the ads or we need to, you know, invest that money elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? I think it's important in the industry. You look at trends based on your city and your target market.
That was going to be my next question, because you run your business at a massive scale. So where you are right now is huge compared to where a lot of people would be. I was going to ask you about, you know, tracking membership numbers, tracking coming into classes. This is obviously something you do because you're talking about trends and working out when you can, when methods are. What have you kind of noticed, throughout the year? When's your sort of peak times? When does it cool off? When do you get another?
Yeah. So, like our average gym membership's around $200 a month, 200 quid a month. That's our average. So January is shit. Like people are like, oh, you must be busy in January. No, awful, terrible, because everyone's skinned from Christmas. So February, March are normally our busiest months. But like we know that January is not very good now, so we make January really good by putting offers out in December, January. So it could be Christmas gifts, or pay for December and get January half price or stuff like that. We put out offers based on the thing. Or we did this month, we did £50 for 28 days. Yeah, so that was really good. Like we sold loads of them where for 28 days they get access to boot camps, 2 body transformation sessions a week. They get a body fat test before, after, and a nutrition plan with all the recipes in, and like a way to teach them to calculate calories with MyFitnessPal tutorials. So we put that in. So like 50 quid is an email, set them up on the app, and then they can go, and we get 50 quid for that. But we know then that they're a really good qualified lead. And then I'll meet them at the end of January and normally then sign them up onto another membership. We've done like £21 for 21 days. And that works very well too. Get lots of signups, but you can only really upgrade those people to the boot camp. They're not going to go from £21 to £200 memberships. People from 50 will probably go to 200, but you've got to make sure that your free trial offer or your low barrier offer isn't like £5 for a month. And then you want to charge someone like £500 a month. They're not going to be able to afford it. So you need to find that price point based on your facility. And a lot of people come here and they're like, oh, it's expensive. And I was like, yeah, we are expensive. We are. We know we are. But it's an investment in yourself. And it's expensive because we're better than the competition. I said, if you want cheap, go to Pure Gym. I said, I know the general manager. I'll give him a ring for you now. Yeah. I said, well, I'll send him down. I said, you can go and do your virtual spin class. Do you know what I mean? But that's not going to get you very far. So you've got to know what you're worth, I think. And, we make sure that, people know that, yes, we are more expensive, but you get a lot more value for your money. And with our price presentation, we've got everything that you get included, like free bootcamp access, free access to the gym, in-body 770. It's a 15 grand body composition machine. Which means it's like the Bentley of body composition. You get that every week if you want it. A lifestyle coach looking after your nutrition, access to a Facebook group with that lifestyle coach for daily check-ins. There's so much that goes on with our membership in terms of added value. And if people don't want to pay, then that's fine. It doesn't make them a bad person, but, we know that we haven't got to strike, 10 out of 10. If we can get, 20 to 30% sale rate from lead to sale, we're absolutely flying. We aim for the 20% lead to sale rate. Don't hit it very often, but that's the target.
That's a big thing because I've seen a lot of trainers who are too scared, to reduce their package price initially. But they're cheap. But you're talking about, well, I know that if I can get someone in at a certain amount, then I can sell them, because once they see the value of what we actually do, and sometimes it's good to open the door to people so they can come and do a test run. In my own studios, we do an offer for a first month for £99. But they're actually a 3-month contract, but they can cancel in the first 30 days. So we do it as like a 30-day trial. But that's sort of what you're doing at your place, where you're saying come down for £50, come and try this, and you can see exactly what it is we do, which is a big stumbling.
Yeah, we do that. Like in the consultations, we've got like a 3-month rate, a 6-month rate, and a 12-month rate. The price is there, but I'll normally say to people, look, we'll give you our 12-month rate on a 3-month sign up. I'll sometimes do that because at the end of the day, yes, your price is there, all the prices on the website, but people do want a good deal. And, we got a VAT bill due on the 7th now. It's like 18 grand. So, if I can get a few members in paying 200 quid rather than 260, it doesn't matter. It all helps, So you got to make sure at certain times of the year, you might be able to lower your prices. January, for example, people are broke. They generally probably can't afford it. But then other times of the year, people probably can't afford your memberships. If they're telling you they can't afford it, they're just probably making a nice excuse. If you read The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort's book, he talks a lot about sales. And it's a great book. If someone says they need to speak to their partner, they can't afford it, it's probably not true. It's probably the fact that they don't like your product, they don't trust you, or they don't like your company. So if you get all those 3 things lined up, with a high percentage, your closing rate should improve. And whatever excuse they give you, go back to those 3 tenths, build more trust, give them more value, show them how good your product is and your company is, and they should, be able to overcome that. But there are certain times of the year when I know people genuinely maybe can't afford it, like January and things like that. But we try to set up our business in a way where like everyone can afford it, because we got a bootcamp membership 2 a week for £45. So are you telling me you can't afford a tenner a week? If you are, you're struggling in life, and you're struggling. You need to sort your shit out. So we got a cheap membership, 45 quid a month for 2 a week. And then our higher memberships are 600, 700, 800 quid a month for personal training 4 or 5 times a week. So, whatever your budget, we can afford. Like the lady that sold Go Compare for 17 million, she trains in our gym. Turns up in a 250 grand Ferrari. The woman that sold Dragon Taxis, she trains in our gym. Woman that owns Thomas Recruitment trains in our gym. So we got a lot of the Cardiff City footballers' wives train in our gym. 50 quid a session for them is like nothing. Do you know what I mean? But then we've got other members then that are doing boot camp, and they can only afford £45 a month. So I think our business model is really good in terms of, yes, we want the high end, but if people are struggling, we can just drop them down. Whereas a lot of these bespoke gyms you see in London and stuff, if you can't afford the membership, you're out the back door and you join another gym. Whereas in our facility, we have got that ability to move members along. And I think that works really well, because, I've had financial trouble in the past, where things haven't gone really well and you think, shit, they need to cut back a bit. But our gym allows people to cut back a bit and still train here. They never leave. Yeah.
That's a really great. So where are you going with your studios? What's the bigger picture?
Well, so we got a lady from Chicago that wants to open an SOS in Chicago. So she's coming over now at the end of the month. We're speaking to finance. We looked at a franchise model. We're all set up to franchise, but she actually wants to open one with us, which will be like a pilot study. So we were mentoring her online for a while with like program design and things like that. My business partner Gavin's very, very good at teaching. He teaches the Polygon group. So, we met her sort of through online mentoring, and she wants to open her own facility. So we're looking at having more. That's something that's just kind of happened, and we're just running with it, which is cool. If it goes ahead, it'll be great. But the main aim in the minute is to get 125 members on semi-private. So we're sort of 20% short. And that's the next goal, really. Like, there are bigger pictures, but I think you just got to put one foot in front of the other and look. And once we achieve that, we can look again. We've just launched the bootcamp timetable, relaunched it. So we're trying to fill those slots up. We've moved the timetable around a little bit. So we're trying to go to do well there. Our ads are changing now next week, because we didn't have a lot of success in the last month or two. But it's sod's law, like the last 8-9 days, they're flying. So I need to speak to the ad company, because we are planning on running a bootcamp sort of advert. Like I said, you £21 for 21 days for bootcamp, and then trying to upgrade them to the £75 membership. Because some of the boot camps, because we've got so many people from boot camp to semi-private, we've got some boot camps with like 5 or 6 people in. So they're not really boot camps. We need to get back to like 12, 15, 20 in a class. So we need more bums on seat.
You've upsold the boot camps onto the semi-private.
Yeah. So like at 6 a.m. this morning, we had more people doing semi-private than doing boot camp. It's like mad. Yeah. It's mental. Yeah. The other morning we had 13 people booked on semi-private. Bear in mind, it's 6 people per coach. So I need 3 coaches for semi-private, and I got 3 in boot camp. Like that. So it's just good problems. It's good problems to have. But we need more people doing boot camp now. So we're going to get people in there, and then we can upgrade them slowly. So that's the plan. But yes, keep driving semi-private, keep driving people into the gym with the boot camp membership now. And then we can upgrade them from there. So that's the plan. We're looking at having a refurb. So we can have our 4th refurb in 4 years. I'm asking the bank for 100 grand. So we're going to, So I think we're going to get it, because we're turning a profit now. So we're going to knock reception out. So it's going to be all open plan. We've got showers downstairs. We're going to knock it all through. So it'll open up much more space. And we've got a mezzanine floor upstairs. We can knock through the wall and then build over the boot camp zone and put the showers upstairs. So it'll make it a lot bigger. Because I'll be honest with you, even though our gym is fantastic, the showers let us down. They're clean and tidy. We've got 2 male and 2 female showers. There's no lockers or anything like that. So we need to really invest in that now. Because we've grown a lot as a facility, but the showers are still the same as they were when we first opened 4 years ago.
Fantastic. And Sam, just before I let you go, you've given tons of value. Anyone who's new and coming into the business, what's the one sort of piece of advice you could give them?
I think the main thing you need to do is invest in yourself. So if you can put aside about 20% of your earnings and reinvest it, I've done loads of courses, and some of the courses I've done, I look back and I'm thinking, what the fuck was I doing? But they led me down a road, and I thought, you know what? I don't want to go down there anymore. Yeah. And I come out and I went down another road. I've done all the Polygon stuff now, PICP 1, PICP 2, PICP 3, level 4, done all of the Polygon stuff with Charles, Strength Sensei, all of his courses. Done all the biosignature stuff, done that like 8 times, it's ridiculous how many times I've done the courses, but I've learned all that now. And now I've just been over to California to see Stefan Calzalt, Kilo Strength Society, learning all of his methods in terms of program design. So we're bringing these methods back to Cardiff. So our semi-private model now is changing based on what I've learned, but I look at programs I used to write like 11 years ago, and it's embarrassing. Even though I was writing programs and a lot of people weren't, Bosa lunges and things like that, like, silly stuff. But I wouldn't have known that was wrong unless I did the education that I've done. So my biggest tip is to, invest in yourself as much as you can. A lot of the time I couldn't afford courses, so I used to do the courses online. I pay like $100 and watch from like a distance, do distance learning. If somebody's dominating your industry and you want to be like them, like pay them £100 and have a Skype call. Ask them the 3 or 4 things that they've learned in the last year. Ask them to direct you in the way of like reading materials, podcasts. A lot of the information out there is free, but it's just getting your hands on the right information to help you. So if you can't do the courses that are £2,000 or £3,000, every month pay £100 and have a Skype call with someone that's further afield than you, because they'll if you pay them, they'll tell you. So it's just ask good questions and be open to it. But I know less now than I did 12 years ago, because now I'm aware of what I don't know from doing the education. And I think if you're going to be successful in the industry, you've got to have an open mind. You've got to be open to learning. There's things that changing all the time in the fitness industry, and you've got to stay up to date with it. You don't want to be a dinosaur, but yeah, reinvest in yourself, whether it's business. If you need help with business, then reinvest in someone like yourself, mate. You helped us last year, loads, but then reinvest in learning about program design and things like that too. There's so much you can learn as a trainer or a business owner as well.
Sam, that's fantastic. Sam, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Thank you.